Everyone, how are you guys doing today? Right now I am sore as all heck. Yesterday I had my first of 8 leg vein and artery procedures that I need. Actually had a stent put in, which is, first of all, it's a scary thought, and second of all, it's no joke. I am in a lot of pain right now. But nonetheless, now that the smoke has been cleared, I want my feelings known about Khamzat Chimaev and why I don't think he's good for business in the UFC. And I know that's a controversial statement to make, right? But nonetheless, it's how I feel. And what I'd like you guys to do is, first and foremost, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it out, and down below I want to hear what you think about Khamzat Chimaev. Okay? Now, 99% of the planet, in the words of Conor McGregor, don't give a fuck how the sausage is made. People will buy a hot dog and just eat it. They don't care how it's made. But to truly understand things and understand the world and be intelligent about things, you need to learn how the sausage is made. For example, Michael Jordan in real life is an a-hole. US people on the planet, they don't care. They couldn't care less. You ask an autograph person, you ask paparazzi, they'll tell you the truth about Jordan. Now, what it does is it breaks away perception from reality, okay? And dare I say this, Khamzat Chimaev, by the way, that noise that you hear is the AC in my truck. Gotta keep the windows up because there's too much noise in the neighborhood right now. But anyways, dare I say it, he is evil. In part because of the company that he keeps. Okay? And look, maybe Khamzat Chimaev is forced into it. Well, you know what? It's time then, Mr. Chimaev, that you take some of your money and you get your entire family out of Chechnya. It's that simple. Now, let's talk about some things that I don't mind and I don't care about. His in-cage skills, I think he's great. As far as a fighter goes, I think he's an A-plus fighter. Yes, his striking could be better, sure. But I like the cardio. Obviously, I like the ground game. I didn't mind the way he murked DDP. If you don't like the grinding, the wrestling, the grappling, the you can't get up, that's on you. You want to stop it from happening? Then learn takedown defense. Learn how, when you're taken down, learn how to get back to your feet. You don't want to be grinded? You don't want to be murked? Then stop it. So I don't mind that about him. I don't mind that, he's multilingual. I actually think that's kind of cool. But at least guys like Khabib, Islam Makhachev, Bilal Muhammad keep certain things out of their mouths. They don't touch certain topics. I don't care that he, said originally at first, he came in, part of his, ring announcement, his cage announcement, is from Chechnya. Good. You are. Be proud of that. Then it changed to, he's from Russia, which Chechnya is part of Russia, if you don't know. I didn't even mind that he started claiming he was from Sweden, even though he only trained in Sweden. I don't care that for this DDP fight, he had half of his camp in the United States. I don't care that Arman Tsarukyan sparred with him. I find it odd that Sean Strickland would spar with him, honestly. I actually do kind of have an issue with TJ Dillashaw working with him. I mean, like, TJ, what the hell are you doing? Don't you got enough problems, TJ? Really? You got to train this guy? Now, we all know one of his favorite quotes. Everybody, I'm coming for everybody. I kill everybody. Now, I don't want to be the speech police. I'm someone that believes in freedom of speech. I'm someone that didn't mind the stuff that Conor McGregor would say. But Conor McGregor isn't best friends with a known worldwide warlord terrorist like Ramzan Kadyrov. This guy is. So whether when he says kill everybody, it's just speech and doesn't mean anything. The fact that you're saying it and you are best buddies with Kadyrov, I have an issue with. I have a bigger issue with, and most of you won't know this, but a while ago, he had a back and forth with Israeli great fighter Chaim Ghazali. And he made multiple death threats against Chaim Ghazali. Now look, it is Chaim's place to go to the worldwide authorities, and he chose not to. So that's on him. But he did challenge him to a grappling contest. And Khamzat wanted no part of it. Now, if he's so sure that he could kill him and wants to kill him, should just take the grappling contest, right? So I have an issue with that. I don't care that he's actually from Chechnya, like I said. I don't care that he's Muslim, even though, I'm sure someone in the comments is going to say, oh, this is Islamophobia, this is Muslim, you're just a Zionist. I'm sure that someone's going to be that stupid. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete those comments, just to let you know. But that's not the case. There's plenty of great, honorable Muslims in the world, and Muslim athletes in the world. Khamzat Chimaev is not one of them. Look, he just won the belt from DDP, right? He goes back to Chechnya, receives a hero's welcome, and that's what people around the world that win UFC gold do, right? But none of them gifted their belts to a terroristic warlord like Ramzan Kadyrov. That's what Khamzat Chimaev just did. He doesn't have that belt anymore. He gave it over to Kadyrov. Now look, he can do whatever he wants with the belt. Khamzat could stick crazy glue on that belt and shove it up his anus for all I care. You're handing that strap to a known terrorist? Really? And for those of you who don't know Kadyrov, first of all, just Google what this guy does, but just to let you know, one particular thing that he did was back in 2017, Razvan Kadyrov opened up in Chechnya concentration death camps. He didn't put Jews in. Oh, he might. I mean, he might have. But who he really put into these death camps were homosexuals. So for those of you protesting, you know, like Queers for Palestine and stuff like that, there's concentration camps on the other side of the world for you, homeboys. Ramzan is a puppet to Vladimir Putin, which by the way is one of the reasons why Putin wants to get all of Ukraine, so he could get a puppet on the other side of the country, but that's neither here nor there. Now look, Khamzat Chimaev has had issues getting visas to come into the United States. Okay. But just look at something that recently happened. The UFC went to Azerbaijan, right? Well, right after that, their leader and the head of Armenia are meeting in the White House with Donald Trump, coming to a peace agreement. Now look, that's outstanding. Peace agreements. I'm all for that. But you have to wonder the connections. You know, they always say follow the money. Follow the connection. Learn how the sausage is made. When the UFC goes to another country, Dana, whether he wants to admit it or not, has multiple conversations with their leaders. So you have to wonder, does Azerbaijan's leader say to Dana White, you are friends with Trump, I want to meet him, I need to meet him with the head of Armenia. Now, Dana won't ever admit to it, especially since MMA media is a bunch of pansies who don't have the balls to ask a tough question. Mostly because they are afraid that they will lose their credential. And, you know, I can understand that. But ask the tough question. Don't be a poussé. Okay? But you have to wonder, does that leader say that to Dana? And all of a sudden now Dana's talking to Don about it. And all of a sudden, boom, there's a peace meeting in the White House. You have to wonder about that. So with Khamzat Chimaev having issues getting visas, now that he's a champion, does Dana talk to Donald Trump about it? And does Donald Trump then go to Marco Rubio and say, ease off on him getting visas? It's not far-fetched to think that. And granted, it's an assumption, but where there's smoke, there's fire. There's probably something there. Look, back when I wrote for Bonehead Picks, back in 2017, I did a deep dive article about Ali Abdelaziz, and there is a lot of 9/11 shady stuff with Ali Abdelaziz and the United States. You have to wonder how much there is with this. And look, again, I don't mind. Well, and in fact, actually, yes, I do mind the connection between Khamzat and Kadyrov. Because when you sleep with dogs, you get fleas. You know. And again, I don't want to police speech, but between the kill everybody, between the this, the that, the death threats to Khan Ghazali, the Allahu Akbar, you cannot have that stuff. Look, there are a lot of crazies that go to UFC events. They're just lucky that while he was walking back to the locker room after not only this fight, but after any fight, someone doesn't jump the barricade and do something. They're lucky at the Fighter Hotel someone hasn't attempted to do something. And Fighter Hotels are easy to find. They really are. Who's stopping someone from going to a Fighter Hotel and stabbing him or shooting him? Who? Nobody. Nobody's stopping it. Same thing with inside an arena. Look, you talk to old school WWF or even the territory wrestlers. A lot of people bought into the kayfabe. A lot of heels were stabbed, were shot, had rocks and glasses thrown at them. Who's to say this doesn't happen to Khamzat? And again, I don't want to police speech, but you can't have speech like that. And you definitely can't have a fighter screaming Allahu Akbar inside the cage. Now look, if Dana ain't gonna police it, and if back, ESPN and Disney ain't stopping it from happening, there's no way in hell in 2026 when they go to Paramount CBS they're gonna say anything. No way in hell. But that stuff just doesn't fly. I think he's bad for business. And again, it has nothing to do with his skills. I like his skills. I don't give a damn that he's Muslim. As a matter of fact, one of my best friends growing up in elementary school was Muslim. I don't care about that crap. It's the speech and the connections that he has to Ramzan. And again, where there's smoke, there's fire. If all of a sudden this guy is getting visas really simple, it might point to Dana saying to Trump and Trump saying to Marco Rubio. Now look, do I think anybody can beat him? Okay, take that strap off of him. Well, I think D. Ritter and Barallo have, I think, the two best chances of beating him. Sean Strickland would be interesting, especially since they did spar, and I mean, they are taking cheap shots at each other now. Paulo Costa's called him out, but I don't think Paulo Costa has the gas tank or the takedown defense to stop Khamzat from working him. I wouldn't mind seeing a Whitaker 2 fight. I mean, Whitaker got his jaw broken in the first fight, so with that face crank, I wouldn't mind seeing another fight. I'd like to know what Whitaker could bring after seeing him fight for a round with him, if he's got any, new wrinkles. I don't know if he could beat him. I'd like to see a second fight. Like I said, I think DeRitter and Borrallo have the best chances of beating him. What I really, really, really would like to see, the one person who I think can actually beat him, is I think the UFC should go out and sign Johnny Eblen right now. Johnny Eblen has the wrestling, the grappling, the takedown defense. He has solid striking. He has the monster team at ATT. I think Johnny Eblen could take him. But this is why I don't think that Khamzat Chimaev is good for business. There's too much smoke in the forest for my liking. I don't know. And again, I just think that if he's forced, let's say Kadyrov is forcing him the way he forces every athlete from Chechnya to do his bidding. Get your family out of Chechnya. It's that simple. I want to see this guy lose that strap, and I have never said that before about a fighter. And I think Johnny Eblen would have the best chance out of everybody that is a fighter to beat him. So guys, do me a favor, please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. And remember, at 300 subs, I'm doing a free giveaway. And do not forget, please, down below, you tell me what your thoughts are about Khamzat Chimaev. And until the next video, it's Cyclone saying, peace out, home skis.